Let me share with you a horrifying story of a haunted island. It has an eerie tale of a place so spine-chillingly scary that even the bravest souls avoid it after dark. It's known as Ross Island, once a thriving hub of activity during the colonial era and now a chilling reminder of the darkest chapters of history. The locals once hailed it as the Paris of the East. Detainees were shackled to walls, flogged within an inch of their lives and left to die slowly, their torment echoing through the halls. They were forced to dig trenches, plant coconuts, and carry heavy logs, often to the point of exhaustion and death. Women and children were banished to the cellular jail, their pleas for mercy lost in the cacophony of suffering. Men, women, and children alike perished, their souls forever trapped within the confines of this haunted island. Any who tried to escape faced even crueler punishments, being locked up in isolation pits for months on end, denied basic necessities like food and water. They were laid to rest in unmarked graves, their names erased from history, their sacrifice forgotten. Walking among the overgrown ruins, you can't help but wonder how many souls lie beneath the tangled roots or fig trees, their stories buried alongside them. It was a place where dreams went to die and despair was the only visitor. Sometimes they appear as shadowy figures lurking at the edge of your vision, just beyond the flickering light of your torch. A bone-chilling cold that seeps into your bones, a heavy dread that settles in your stomach, and a suffocating sense of hopelessness that seems to envelop you from all sides. During his third night on duty, he decided to explore the ruins of the old British church, hoping to capture some eerie images for his personal collection. As he raised his phone to snap a picture, he noticed a shadow kneeling at the altar as if in prayer. But when they checked the photo later, they were shocked to see a woman standing behind them. Many who spend the night here report hearing chains dragging, footsteps echoing through the darkness, and disembodied voices calling out in the night. For when the shadows grow long, the ghosts of Ross Island come out to play, and they won't rest until they've shared their haunting tales. The silence between these ghostly manifestations is perhaps the most unsettling, for it's in the quiet moments that one can truly feel the weight of the islander's tragic past. She was dressed in a torn British-era dress, her face blurred and hands raised as if reaching out. The guide immediately checked the area, but no one was there. Also, tell us in the comments what you thought of the story. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button. Some believe these apparitions are the ghosts of British officers who once strolled through the gardens, reliving their last days before an earthquake and Japanese invasion brought their control to an abrupt end. Others claim they are the souls of the tortured Indian prisoners who still seek the justice that eluded them in life. Curiosity piqued, he cautiously approached the figure, but as he drew nearer, it turned to face him, revealing a ghastly sight. It had a face, if you could call it that, with hollow eyes and a twisted smile, and blood oozing from its mouth. Paralyzed with fear, Neil stumbled backward, knocking over a nearby pot. The noise seemed to startle the apparition, which vanished into thin air. Shaken to his core, Anil fled to the jetty, where he spent the rest of the night, too terrified to move. He left the island the next morning and never returned, haunted by the memory of the blood-dripping ghost. Other times, they manifest as disembodied voices whispering tales of suffering and sorrow in a language you somehow understand. And then there are the apparitions of full-bodied ghostly figures that appear as if from nowhere, their faces contorted in pain, their eyes pleading for mercy. The discovery sent shockwaves through the community, bringing the horrors of Ross Island's past into sharp focus. To find out what really happened, we need to delve deeper into the island's grim history. The grave, a stark and somber reminder of the lives cut short and the suffering endured on this cursed ground. Here, the ghosts of starving prisoners seem to linger, their hollow eyes fixed on the meager rations being distributed. You can almost hear their stomachs growling in unison, a haunting chorus of hunger and despair. Suddenly, a foul stench fills the air, causing you to recoil in disgust. And in the shadows, you see the ghosts of prisoners being flogged, their skin torn and bleeding, their screams echoing through the trees. Imagine walking along the same path where hundreds of prisoners once walked, their shackles dragging moans mingling with the rustling leaves. The oppressive heat of the day hangs heavy, making it hard to breathe, both literally and metaphorically. As you round a corner, you see a group of men huddled together. At first you think they're fellow tourists, but then you notice the vacant stares and the stench of decay. These are not living men, but the ghosts of Ross Island's prisoners, forever frozen in their agony. Today it's a place where ghosts seem to linger around every corner. So if you love ghost stories and tales of the unknown, make sure to watch this episode till the end. Grand Colonial Bungalows, a sprawling club and a majestic church, were constructed amidst the island's dense green, creating an illusion of luxury and refinement. However, beneath this veneer of sophistication, there was a sinister underbelly of oppression and cruelty. We guaranteed that it will leave you sleeping with the lights on. Let's get started. Deep in the heart of the Andaman Sea, just off the coast of Port Blair, lies an island shrouded in mystery and terror. This is no ordinary island. In the 1850s, the British East India Company established Ross Island as their administrative capital in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. The British built prison camps and facilities on the island and subjected Indian freedom fighters to unimaginable horrors. Imagine strolling along the overgrown paths of Ross Island, the air thick with humidity and the sound of cicadas. You can almost hear the screams of those tortured here. As you peer into the dilapidated cells, you picture emaciated bodies slumped against the walls, their eyes hollow with suffering. The grand colonial buildings stand as silent witnesses to these atrocities, their crumbling facades hiding the pain they once contained. But the suffering didn't end at the prison walls. Families of the detainees were not spared either. The true horror of Ross Island lies in the fact that many of the prisoners never received a proper burial. One day, a team of archaeologists stumbled upon one such grave while excavating the island. Now let's move towards our main topic of the video. How did those poor people die? What happened to them? How did they feel in their last moments? It's here that the ghosts of Ross Island come to life, whispering their tales of woe to those who dare to listen. As you explore further, you might stumble upon the remnants of the prison kitchen. The ghosts of Ross Island come in all shapes and sizes. The most terrifying aspect of these encounters is not the sight or the sound itself, but the feeling that accompanies them. One particularly harrowing encounter was reported by a young sailor named Anil, who was stationed on Ross Island for monthly supply rounds. But this is just one story among many. There are others who have encountered the spirits of Ross Island, each tale more spine-chilling than the last. While exploring the ruins, a group of tourists decided to take a selfie in front of the old cemetery, hoping to capture a spooky memento of their visit. These encounters are not limited to the daylight hours. As night falls, Ross Island transforms into a realm of shadows and whispers. So if you ever find yourself drawn to the shores of Ross Island, be warned. Do not venture forth when the sun dips below the horizon. And we've shared the most terrifying ones with you. So don't forget to subscribe so that we can keep you updated on our new videos.